Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Myself Sajjan Pradhan, Assistant Professor, Gargi Memorial Institute of Technology. In today's class, we will discuss about the phasor diagram of the Anderson bridge. Already I have given you the notes, PDF notes of the Anderson bridge, where we have derived the equations or for the equations for the finding of L and R, L1 and R1. In that notes, this figure is given and this is the Anderson bridge circuit diagram. So before starting the phasor diagram, first of all we have to write down the some basic equations that is equivalent to this bridge. In this bridge, since id is 0, that means the potential of point O as well as the potential of point B will be obviously equals. So that's why, because there is no any current in this branch, so E3 potential drop across this resistance will be obviously equals to EC. That means this one E3 will be equals to EC, because these are in parallel path. In this R, since this is the potential, that means since there is no any current in this galvanometer, that means the potential of point this and this point is same. That means this potential, that means the potential drop across this resistance R2, this potential plus this potential should be equals to this one, because there is a common point and these points are also in parallel, and there is no any current in this R. That means the potential drop across this path equals to potential drop equals to this path and this one, because this is the equipotential point. So that means E1 equals to E2 plus ER. In the similar way, since E4 is the potential drop across point D and C, that means so E4 will be equals to ER plus EC according to the KVL, because this path and this path is in parallel position. That means the potential drop across this path E4 equals to ER plus EC. That means this one. Now, since this current I1 is, there is no current in this path, that means this I1 will be equals to I3. That means this one. And I2, current I2 will be equals to I4 plus IC, because this current divides into two parts. That means this goes to IC and this goes to I4. So I2 equals to IC plus I4, IC plus I4, and this IC will flows through this capacitor as well. Now, what will be ER? ER means the potential drop across this resistance, a small R resistance. So this ER will be IC into R. That means this one. Now, in this circuit, E1 plus E3 gives us equals to E, because these are in the parallel circuit. This path and this path is in parallel circuit. So E1 plus E3 will be equals to E, as well as E2 plus E4 will be equals to E, or we can also say that E2 plus ER plus EC will be equals to E. No problem, both are same. Now, what is E1? Obviously E1 will be equals to, see here, E1 will be equals to what? I1 into R1 plus small r1 plus jxl1 this is equals to what? E1. That means this path is on the same direction as the direction of current, and I1 into XL1, that means EL1 will be on the J direction, that means in the positive Y direction. Now start with the phasor diagram. First we have to draw the, assume any current. I have assumed I1, so just assume this is current I or I1. So if this is I1, then obviously this will be equals to I3 as from the equation this. Now if I know the direction of I1 and I3, so obviously the I1 into R1 plus this R1 will be on the same direction, because in the resistance there will be no any phase difference. So let us assume that I1 into R1 plus small r1, this is the potential drop across this resistance plus this resistance, and the potential drop across this inductor will be on the positive J direction. So assume a potential drop that will be in perpendicular to this one. So if this is I1 into XL1, so I1 R1, I1 into R1 plus I1 into XL1 will gives us the what? E1. So this path, this is the resultant of both this term, will be E1. Let us assume that this is E1. Now if we know that this is E1, since I1 is equals to I3, that means we know that this I3, so the R3, I3 into R3 will also gives us the E3, because on the same direction, because there is only resistance in this R. So let us assume that this is I3 into R3. So I3 into R3 gives us what? E3. That means equals to E3. As from this equation, E3 will be equals to EC, or this equals to EC. So if this is EC, then the current IC will be in which direction? Because there is only a capacitor in this path. So if EC is on the x-axis, then obviously current will lead in the purely capacitive network, current will be 90 degree upward. So the IC will be on the direction of, that means the perpendicular to this direction, because there is only capacitor in the network. As we know that in the capacitive network, current leads or voltage lags. So the direction of IC will be on the positive y-axis direction. So now due to this EC direction, we can draw the direction of current IC. Let us assume that this is the direction of current IC. Let us assume that the magnitude is this one. This is IC. Now if we know that this is IC, so this voltage drop. Now IC into small r, let us assume that this voltage drop is this one. This is what? IC into small r, which is equals to what? That is equals to ER, this voltage drop, because we know that the direction of IC, so the ER will be on the same direction as the direction of IC. That means this is ER. Now if we know ER and EC, so E4 we can draw the phasor of E4, since we know that ER plus EC equals to E4. So draw this. That means we have to draw a parallelogram across this. The resultant of ER plus EC gives us the E4. So draw a parallel line to this EC. And a parallel line to ER. So the resultant of both the things, ER plus EC, gives us so this point, this vector will be E4. That means that is the resultant of ER plus EC. Now we know that this is E4 and this is E1. Now E3 is this one, as we know that E1 plus E3 gives us what? E. So the resultant of summation of E3 plus E1 will gives us the E. So according to the parallelogram law, just draw a parallel line to parallel to this E1. That means this E3 parallel to this E3 and the parallel to this line. So the resultant of E1 plus E3 gives us E. So this resultant will be E. Let us assume this is E. So the resultant will be E. Now this is E. Now we also know that E2 plus E4 equals to E. That means this implies that E2 equals to E minus E4 or E minus E4. So here we know E and E4. We have already drawn this E and E4 now. So E2 will be what? Obviously E2 plus E4 gives us E. That means the line joining with E4 and E will gives us E2. So this line actually is nothing but this is E2. So according to parallelogram law, we can also draw this E2 parallel to this one. So as we know, this is E4. Then for by the parallelogram law, you can also draw a parallel line. This is E2. So the parallel line to E4, that means this one. This line and this line is parallel to each other, and you have to draw another parallel lines that is parallel to this green colored line, that means this one, and the resultant that means this point, that means this is E2. This is E2, that is parallel to this one. This is E2 and this is E2. Now we have drawn E2. So if we know that direction of E2, so obviously direction of I2 will be on the same direction. Now let us assume that the direction of I2, we'll just assume that this is I2. So I2, since we know that I2 equals to IC plus I4, that means if we draw a parallel lines to this one, and direction of I4 direction of I4 will be on the direction of E4, because E4 and I4 on the should be same line because due to the pure resistance. So obviously the direction of I4 will be on the direction of this, but I4 plus IC gives us I2, that means the magnitude portion of this I4 will be what? We have to draw a parallel lines to this one, and the resultant of this, that means the one parallel line to this one, that means the black colored. So this will be I4, this will be I4, and I4 plus IC gives us I2, and this is the complete phasor diagram of this Anderson bridge. Again I am repeating the whole steps. First of all, I have drawn a current, that means the I1 that is equals to I3. First of all, I have drawn I1 line and I3 line. Due to this known direction of I1, we can draw the voltage drop across this resistance, this and this resistance. So I1 into R1 plus R1 will be on the same line, and I1 into JXL1 or I1 into XL1 gives us the voltage drop across this pure inductive portion only. So this will be on the positive y direction, that means the 90 degree upward from this line. So this will be I1 into XL1. Now I1 into R1 plus R1, this plus this line gives us the potential drop across this path. So this will be E1. Now this is E1. If here we already drawn the line E1. Now we already know that direction of current I3. So I3 into E3 will be on the same line. So I3 into E3 will be on the same line. Just assume that. Now so this is equals to what? E3, and we know that E3 equals to EC. So this line also indicates the EC. Now if we know that direction of EC, then obviously the current flows through this capacitor, that means IC, will be on the positive y direction, because this is in capacitor. Current leads to with respect to voltage, so the direction of current is now 90 degree upward to this line. That means 90 degree upward. Now if we know that direction of IC, now we can draw the potential drop across this resistance, because the direction of current and the potential drop across this resistance will be on the same direction, because this is purely resistive path. So IC into R will be on the same line, and that is equals to ER. If we know that this is ER and this is EC, that means ER plus EC gives us E4. So the resultant of both this line and this vector gives us what? E4. If we know that E4 and we have already drawn E1, so okay, this is E4. Now as we know that E1 plus E3 equals to E, so we know that E1 and this is E3, so the resultant of both E1 plus E3 gives us E. So by the parallelogram law we can draw a parallel line of this and this, so the resultant will be E. Now same with the respect of E, and we already know that direction of E4, so we can draw the direction of E2, because we know E and E4, so E2 will be this. So the direction of current, that means if we know E2, then obviously the direction of current will be on the same line. So direction of current, that means I2 will be on the same line, in this line I2. So now just draw a parallel lines to this and parallel line to this. So we can draw the current, direction of current from the origin by drawing a parallelogram law, this one, this and this. So the direction of current will be on the direction of E2. Same, that is because this and this line, this green line and this green line on the same parallelly. Now if we know that direction of current I2, and already we know that this is the direction of IC, and if so I4 will be, that is I4, direction of current I4 will be on the direction of E4. So on this E4 line, E4 vector line, we have drawn again a parallel, that is whose resultant will be on the E2 line. In this way we have drawn I4, and this is the complete phasor diagram of the whole Anderson bridge. Hope you have understood these things. If you did not understand, then please you can ask me or you can call me. Thank you for today's. Thank you all. Be safe.